Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the first chapter in history, which is when, where and how. We have already seen about reasons for the movement of people, sources of history. Sources that are used to study history are divided broadly into three categories. The first one is literary sources, the second one is archaeological sources, and the third one is accounts of foreign travelers. Literary sources, manuscripts can be divided into two categories, religious and secular, in part 2. Students, can you guess what these images are? I hope you will be able to get it by the end of the lesson. Synopsis of the lesson. In this session, we are going to see the following topics. Archaeological sources. Under this, we have inscriptions, coins, monuments or remains of buildings, artifacts and other findings. Then, accounts of foreign travelers. Now, let's see some keywords. Archaeology, archaeologist. Archaeology means the study of the buildings, graves, tools and other objects that belonged to people who lived in the past in order to learn about their culture and society. Archaeologist. An archaeologist is a scientist who studies human history by digging human remains and artifacts. Here, artifacts means the objects of the past that were man-made, like tools, ornaments, etc. Now, we are going to see the first topic, that is archaeological sources. Archaeology is the study of the remains of the past. Now, we are going to see about archaeologist. Now, let's see about who is an archaeologist. An archaeologist is a scientist who studies human history by digging human remains and artifacts. Here, artifacts means the objects of the past that were man-made, like tools, ornaments, etc. Now, look at the picture where archaeologists recover objects by digging objects from sites that get buried under the earth. Archaeologist is the specialist who studies the historical monuments and remains of old sites. Here, monuments means memorial buildings. So, archaeologists dig out the old sites and take out the objects from there. So, archaeologists dig up the earth to search for the remains of the past buried under it. Their work helps us to reconstruct. Here, reconstruct means recreate the history of the period when humans did not know how to write. They study about the remains of buildings, pottery, weapons, tools, ornaments, bones, grains, remains of plants, etc. They are broadly divided into the following divisions: inscriptions, coins, monuments or remains of buildings, artifacts like pottery, sculpture, ornaments, paintings, tools, etc. Other miscellaneous objects like remains of plants, bones of animals, charred grains, weapons, pieces of stones, etc. Here, miscellaneous means various, charred means burnt. First, let's see about the inscriptions. Inscriptions are records engraved mostly on rocks, stone pillars, walls, and on metal slabs. Here, engrave means cut or carve a text or design on the surface of a hard object. Inscriptions are the most reliable evidence, and their study is called epigraphy. Here, reliable means true or faithful. So, inscriptions are the most faithful evidence, and their study is called epigraphy. Epigraphy is the study of inscriptions. Now, let's see some hard words. Victory, religious, policy. Victory means an act of defeating an enemy or opponent in a battle, game, or other competition. In other words, victory means success or win. Religious means relating to or believing in a religion. Policy means plans or guidelines. Most of the inscriptions have survived as they were written on a hard surface. A large number of inscriptions tell us about the orders and victories of the kings. Here, victory means success or win. Some of the inscriptions also tell us about the religious policies of the kings. Here, religious means relating to or believing in a religion. Policy means plans or guidelines. For example, inscriptions of Emperor Ashoka tells us about his Dharma. According to Ashoka, Dharma was based on religious tolerance, respect to elders, care for the old ones, kindness towards the needy, purity and truthfulness, no killing of animals. He said no to violence. Most of the inscriptions that are found are written in Prakrit, Pali, Brahmi, Sanskrit, Telugu and Tamil. Among the inscriptions found, those of Ashoka by far give the best description. Here, description means explanation of his reign. Here, reign means the period of rule of a monarch or ruler. Next, we are going to learn about coins. The study of coins is known as numismatics. Thousands of ancient Indian coins have been discovered. Here, ancient means earliest. So, thousands of earliest Indian coins have been discovered. Coins enable us to understand the ruler and extent of his rule. Here, extent means length of his rule. Some of the coins are inscribed with dates or the image of the king. Here, inscribed means of a surface or object marked with characters. Metals used in the coins tell about the economic condition of a particular empire and their knowledge of metallurgy. Here, metal means a solid material Example: iron, gold, silver, aluminum, etc. Metallurgy means the technique or science of working or heating metals so as to give them certain desired shapes or properties. For example, in one of the gold coins, King Samudragupta is shown playing a veena, which shows his interest in music. So in this picture, you can see King Samudragupta is shown playing a veena, which shows his interest in music. Now let's see some hard words. Historical, significance, immensely valuable. Historical means belonging to the past. Significance means importance. Immensely means to a great extent. In other words, highly or truly. Valuable means useful or profitable. Art, architecture, religious, cultural. Art means the various branches of creative activity such as painting, music, dance, etc. Architecture means the art or practice of designing and constructing buildings. Religious means relating to or believing in a religion. Cultural means relating to the ideas, customs, and social behavior of a society. Next, we are going to learn about monuments or remains of buildings. Monuments consist of buildings, stupas, caves, temples, etc. Buildings which are of historical significance are called monuments. Here, historical means belonging to the past. Significance means importance. So, buildings which are of historical significance are called monuments. They are immensely valuable as they tell us about the art and architecture, religious and cultural life of the people of the period in which they were built. Here, immensely means highly, valuable means useful. So, they are highly useful as they tell us about the art and architecture, religious and cultural life of the people of the period in which they were built. Here, art means the various branches of creative activity such as painting, music, dance, etc. Next, architecture means the art or practice of designing and constructing buildings. Then, religious means relating to or believing in a religion. Cultural means relating to the ideas, customs, and social behavior of a society. So now we are going to see Agra Fort. Agra Fort is a historical fort in the city of Agra in India. It was the main residence of the emperors of the Mughal dynasty. Next, let's see about stupa, a usually dome-shaped structure serving as a Buddhist shrine. Next, you can see the cave picture. Here, cave means a natural underground chamber in a hillside or cliff. Now, let's see the picture of Brihadishwara temple at Tanjore. Some of the examples are Senji Stupa. It is located in Madhya Pradesh. It is one of the oldest Buddhist monuments in the country and the largest stupa at the site. It was originally built in the 3rd century BCE by the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka and is believed to house ashes of the Buddha. Now let's see about Ajanta Cave. The Ajanta caves are approximately 30 rock-cut Buddhist cave monuments which date from the 2nd century BCE to about 480 CE in Aurangabad, district of Maharashtra, state of India. The caves include paintings and rock-cut sculptures described as among the finest surviving examples of ancient Indian art, particularly expressive paintings that present emotions through gesture, pose and form. Next, let's see about Ellora Cave. Ellora Cave is a UNESCO World Heritage Site located in the Aurangabad district of Maharashtra, India. It is one of the largest rock-cut monastery, temple, cave complexes in the world, featuring Hindu, Buddhist and Jain monuments. Now we are going to learn about artifacts and other findings. Artifacts means the objects of the past that were man-made, like tools, ornaments, etc. In this picture, you can see the various artifacts, the various objects that humans made, such as ornaments, toys, tools and pottery, give valuable knowledge. Here valuable means useful knowledge of how people lived, their occupations and their customs. Here customs means their tradition. Finally, we are going to learn about accounts of foreign travelers. A great deal of our knowledge of ancient Indian history is supplemented. Here supplemented means addition or extra by the writings of travelers. Indica, written by Megasthenes, gives us valuable information. Here valuable means useful information on the Mauryan Empire. Similarly, accounts of Fa Hien and Iron Song tells us about the socio-economic and religious situation in India in the 5th and 7th century CE. Here, socio-economic means relating to or concerned with the interaction of social and economic factors. Religious means relating to or believing in a religion. So, history allows us to learn about how the people lived in the past, how they interacted with nature, how they observed, understood, experimented. Here experimented means perform a scientific procedure, especially in a laboratory, and then devised means formed ways to find newer ways of life. It encourages us to examine and question the knowledge that we have gained. The study of history makes us understand our present better a manner that we do not repeat past mistakes. Now, I hope you all found what these pictures are. In the first picture, we can see an archaeologist recover objects by digging objects from sites that get buried under the earth. In the second picture, we can see inscription. In the third picture, we can see Agra Fort. In the fourth picture, we can see some old coins. And in the fifth picture, we can see some artifacts. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now, we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.